for sure, plus user error, because it's a known quantity now. Ideally, you go back in, you reseat it firmly.
You have to wiggle the cable left and right 10 times to seat that cable. Is that realistic?
But it's completely possible.
So I'm reacting to a video of him reacting to other videos. Perfect. GN deemed it user error. Half unplugged. North Ridge said you're crazy. It's plugged in all the way.
He said that it could be a card problem. He will have to do more investigation.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Have you guys heard of anyone in the hardware space that's had this issue? It doesn't make any sense to me, honestly. You would have to be pulling 600 watts for multiple hours at a time for that thing to even start getting warm. You know what I will say, though? You know what I will say? If I had to make a bet, I would go with Northridge opinion. It's this, and you know why? Like if it was like GN's user error versus Northridge's opinion, it's basically the same thing as you have one guy that actually works on this shit day in and day out constantly. It's no different than my consults, right? If you like, let's say you have like me versus another tech tuber of some sort, and that guy hasn't tested the product, and I'm working in the trenches every single day, day in and day out with something, my opinion would be far more tangible because I literally see this shit every day, right?
True, and not a power supply issue, but
like the 4090 Strix thing when people are like, people buy Asus for the warranty, and I'm like, no, people buy Asus because they want the best. The reason why I have that opinion, because I see that shit every fucking day, right? I know my customer base.
rather the problem
right?
is NVIDIA. The problem is
So
the card.
I would 100% side with this guy because he's repairing hundreds of these fucking cards all the time, dude. He's a frontline worker, right? You take the opinion of a frontline worker and not some administrator in a tower, right? And apparently it always melts on the card side, not the cable side. Maybe they just used I don't know what the hell that would be. Maybe they just used weak ass pins.
Type of an error margin. Even if there's a gap, the connector should not melt. Maybe the card should have some type of a mechanical mechanism.
No, Northridge only got 8 or 9 broken cards from Cable Mod, but he said
to ensure
he was repairing like 200 of them. All 200 weren't from Cable Mod. It was like fucking 8 of them, right?
Or maybe you know about this problem. It's on them.
We know that this guy is insanely pro-consumer, right? Remember during the pandemic when he got hired. It was against Zotac or against Gigabyte? One of his viewers hired him to write a full report because they were going to sue. I wonder what happened with that. They were going to take one of the companies to court over refusing an RMA when it was clearly a defective card, and then they got him to write that whole report saying it was defective card, and they're trying to renege on their warranty, right? What do we always say? You don't have a fucking warranty. There is no such thing as a warranty, right? Oh, maybe they're just like, you didn't plug it in all the way. It's your fault. And then like, they're like, I did plug it in all the way. Oh, but Gamers Nexus said that it's your fault. So we're going with that. Maybe that's what's happening.
User is not a psychic. The user is not a magician. And the user will plug in the cable.
That's how you can know he works. That's how you know he works with customers every single day. He knows they're fucking dumb, dude. Yeah.
Just like they did with all previous.
He knows how dumb customers are.
Generations of video cards. Put the cable in. We're not going to leave it like this. We're not going to plug in the cable halfway. We're going to plug in the cable all the way. Okay? But we do not have to keep going back and forth for 20 seconds to ensure that that card, the cable is plugged in. And if not...
Dude, you can tell, dude, you can tell his fucking brain is melting with just how... He must think tech tubers are fucking retarded, dude. He's like, what? He's like... I love this guy, man. I vibe so hard with this guy.
then
He's like just a normal ass dude, and he's like, why are all these fucking nerds talking about
we are at fault
connectors, man?
because we did not wiggle the cable 20 times to make sure it's all the way in. So now maybe graphics cards makers will take that as an excuse. Oh, it has been proven that this is a user error. We're not gonna RMA that card anymore.
Oh yeah, there you
And
go.
the reality is the problem is the card itself and not a user error.
Northridge in the video stated,
I wonder why Gamers Nexus is defending this so bad though.
don't tell
The user did not connect the cable in properly before he connected the 90-degree adapter. My head is spinning. My head is spinning.
As for the connectors, we asked Northridge for photos of the adapters. It's too difficult, really,
It's
for
just
us
a
to
classic case of theoretical desk jockey versus someone working in on the ground
say
in the
for
trenches,
certain
right?
what happened based on these photos. From this, it used to be a burn line, about 1 to 1 millimeter drop from left to right. Other
It took me over 2 minutes with a plier trying to separate the cable mod adapter from the connector. I scratched the living crap out of that connector and adapter to separate them both. And now he's looking at the photo and he analyzed that the reason the connector melted is possibly because the cable mod adapter was not plugged in all the way. Is that realistic to you? I just want you to leave it down in the comments and let me know what you think.
Oh,
Is
God,
that
dude.
possible? The cable mod adapter did not burn from the front or
That's
melt from the
fucking
front,
gold.
but rather
Holy
it melted
shit.
from here because the user did not
Dude,
connect that
oh
cable
my
mod
God,
adapter
man.
in properly. Or maybe
He's making fun of nerds in his own way.
he did not connect the cable mod adapter
I fucking ripped on that thing for 2 minutes, and this motherfucker over here analyzed the picture and determined it was user error.
at all. He plugged in the
He's just like,
cable, melted the connector, and then later on plugged in the cable mod adapter. And we're going to have the spinning head again. I don't know what to tell you.
for sure. Plus,
I like that. Oh yeah, he's salty. This is good. This is good content, dude. I'm telling you. Okay, drama is good content. It's 100% is, man.
Adapter. And we're going to have the spinning head again. I don't know
He had to post this picture to make him look like a dumbass too.
what to tell you.
for sure, plus user error, because it's a known quantity now. Ideally, you go back in, you reseat it firmly.
You have to wiggle the cable left and right 10 times to seat that cable. Is that realistic?
But it's completely possible that there's something different going on here. So, to do our due diligence,
Oh my
we
God,
are
dude.
working on receiving
This
a
is
few more
so
failed.
good. Okay, I don't know if dude, I don't know if Northridge Fix does React content often, but he could make an entire channel off that shit, dude.
Card.
If he made a completely separate channel of just him reacting to people being fucking dumb, he would make a killing, dude. He would never have to fix PCBs again, man. Oh, maybe GN is afraid that they had the wrong conclusion before, and now they might be trying to double down on it to make it seem like they're not incompetent. Maybe that's possible. You don't want for these guys, it's really important to not admit that they fucked up, right? Because think of the liability or the implications of that. If he goes out now and says that he fucked up, he basically single-handedly fucked over a lot of people out of RMAs. Because that's exactly what's happening now, right? They're like, it's user error. We're not RMAing this. That's all GN's fault if that actually ends up being the case, right?
Change from previously.
So
From his analysis, right?
it looks like Steve want to do more analysis, which is perfectly fine. But as of now, Steve does not want to back off or back out from everything he mentioned before, from all the lab tests that he did before. He does not want to throw all that in the trash.
That's
come and
that's
tell-
exactly it. There you go. Yeah, that's 100% it. This guy is sharp as fuck, dude. He's super sharp.
Tell you now that the problem is the card and not the user. That's how it appears to me. It could be a combination of both user and the video card, but to me, the user should not be blamed for this if the connector is not plugged in fully all the way.
Dude, that's good shit. That's good content. Yeah, So it looks like the Coles notes. GN doesn't want to back down because of liability now. I think from my standpoint, we need more statistical data on burn rates. I don't think it would be possible to actually get this because we don't know how many cards the manufacturers actually are made and how many they didn't. We only have the reports of one shop. So let's say, even though a lot of those cards weren't 4090s, let's say he did have about 200 of them that burnt out. Well, I mean, Cable Mod themselves had 8 of them, right? And that doesn't make any sense. So Cable Mod is RMAing the 4090s when the problem wasn't their adapter. So the RMAs are being refused out there, right? Frame Chaser's solution. Just like with AM Bulge, undervolt yourself for now. Just take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Cap the card at 450 watts. Just cap the... And you know what? If you're pulling more than 450 fucking watts on that card too, you're doing it wrong anyway, man. You don't need more than 450 watts for that card. 400, and so it's pulling 430 watts right now. Okay, 1.1 volt. And we have 270-ish FPS. Okay. You do an undervolt. Let's go 10.5. And let's go 2900 megahertz. You lose 100 megahertz. We dropped 50 watts off the card. 40 watts. And the FPS is the exact same. We lost 4 FPS. It's not that serious. You don't need to be pulling more than 450 watts on this card. You know what I'm saying? You can undervolt it even further. Let's try just for the YouTubes. 1 volt, 2850. See if that even crashes. 2850, 1 volt. Oh, look at that. We just fucking dropped 80 watts off the card. Same FPS again. It's not that serious. It's not that fucking serious. And then at 350 watts, this thing is never gonna fry on you. So from our perspective, don't worry about it. Fix it yourself. I'm more interested in it's not rocket science. No, exactly. I'm more interested in the drama of what GN is gonna do now. Is he gonna backpedal or is he gonna double down on user error, right? I lost 4 FPS and I dropped a fucking 80 watts. I just don't like pulling that much power through my components, man. It's just not that serious. I think that answers this question. Don't worry about it. Undervolt your card if you're worried about it. Keep it under 450 watts until this whole situation gets sorted out. And as always, once the transaction is complete, you assume you have no warranty. Take care of yourself. Always undervolt. And learn how to solder in case that shit burns. I don't know what else to tell you. In the meantime, let's wait for GN and Northridge to and let's wait for Nvidia to make a comment too, and let's wait for them to sort this out. But yeah, that's about it.